Hello everyone, this is Venkat. Welcome to Venkat's Tech Talk. This is the fourth part of C Sharp version 8 presentation, and in this presentation we are going to look at few more features of C Sharp 8. So, indices and ranges. So C Sharp 8 introduced two new types called indices and ranges, which helps to easily access array with a shorter syntax. Let us see what it means. So it's a new feature. It allows us to access the element of an array or a collection, and it makes it convenient with easily readable and simplified syntax. So we know that traditionally we can access any array by using indexer. So we can just call the index of an array by passing the element. And if we want to get the range of array, so this is the new syntax introduced. So let us see how the syntax behave with a lot of different cases. So what I'm trying to do here is I have a utility print method which tries to print an array of object or print an individual object. Just it prints and adds a new line for simplification. So I declare a string array with 10 elements, each of them having a description from 0 to 10. And let us see what all we can do with the new syntax and how it works. So basically, so now through this syntax we can pass a range of value, range an indication like what exactly we want to access. So basically this portion is technically called as an range object. So this expression 0 to 3 is a range. Now I have expressed it as a literal, but this can be expressed as a strongly typed range object. I will show you a bit later, but for now let us understand this is a range, and this range has two components. This is index and this is another index. So a range is composed of two index. So now array accepts a range like this. So 0 dot dot 3 means I want to start from the index 0 and get until the position 3, and it will return an array of the sub array of the object array object which we are using as an input. Okay, to better understand it, let us run it because I'm going to print the syntax that we are trying to access and the output what it produces, so that helps us to understand it better. Okay, so let us look at. So 0 to 3, we already know that we have the array of 0 to 10. So it takes from the position index position 0 up to 3 position. So 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1 and 2, these three elements are printed. Okay, so that's the thing. And I want to start from 0 to 1 position. It prints the 0th element, and it gets like I want to start from position index position 1 to position 3. So 0, 1, 2 or the 3 positions, since we are starting from the first element which is 0, 1 first element, and it's only printing the 2. So and it gets interesting with this kind of a hat syntax, where if you want to get a last value from an array, this is the syntax array of hat1, which prints the last one element, last item, which is equivalent to last item in the link expression. And this syntax tells I want the third element from the last, which is 8. Okay, if I want all the elements, just like double dot. Yeah, I know it's not required, just we can use that array, but yeah, this is a syntax to get all the elements like 2 dots. Okay, and sometimes the syntax can be like this, where we don't have the expression at one end and we have the index at the other end. So it is inclusive, like we want to start from the very beginning. So this indicates I want the first 3 elements, which is equivalent to 0 double dot 3. Okay, yeah. Okay, so next one is last three elements. So here, last three elements, and then we have a different syntax where 2 to last 2, like means I want to start from the index 2 and skip the last two elements and get the rest of the thing. So it prints 2 to 8 everything. So this is a new syntax, and this is to demonstrate how this syntax is composed. As I already mentioned, I stated that we have index and range as a new two types. So the code looks like this. This is to show like how it works. For example, index is a type and the starting position is 1, and another index end position is this hat 1, and the range is, as I already mentioned, range is composed of two index. So start double dot end, and then now I am using, instead of the constant literal like this, I am using the range object, array of range, and that's what exactly we see here. We are giving a 1 to 1, and it skips the first element and the last element and prints the rest of the element. So this is another handy way of syntax, and what I also understand from the documentation is this is now has an enumerable implemented in it, so that where we can use it as an in wherever we can use enumerables. But unfortunately I am not successful in making it to work with for each. Since it is a beta version, we are not sure like what made into the beta release, or what is in, whether this is slated for future release. So couple of features which I see in the documents floating on internet, like where we can use um, iteration on these things, or where we can use these range on the string, like taking and string and working as a string element, array element of that one. And couple of things I'm not able to implement, maybe like it's not available in beta. So this is what I see it's working perfectly in C#8 beta. Hope this helps. Let us continue with few other features available. Another thing which is not yet made into C#8, which is the future, which we can expect in the future release. So that's a feature called default interface implementation. So currently we know that there is a strict limitation that we cannot have an interface with a concrete implementation. So when we have to do that, we have the only option of going with abstract class, like where we can have an implementation along with the declaration. So take an example of this interface. This is a valid syntax as of now. So we have a definition in the interface and we have an implementation. But now in C#8 we expect to allow concrete implementation in interface, something like this. So this gives a great benefit of putting the default implementation in the interface so that it don't break the existing client. So suppose if you want to introduce a new method in the interface, and if you don't want to break the implementation, just we can add the concrete implementation in the interface. The client are flexible to override it in their implementation, but if there is no override, it will make use of the default implementation in the interface. So this is a very nice feature, something which will look like this, the syntax pasted above. So we have a interface with two methods initially, current balance and make deposit function, and make deposit function takes the amount and it adds to it. Now without breaking it, we are introducing a new method in the interface with along with the implementation, make withdrawal. So just it needs to do the reverse of deposit. So I'm able to achieve the same by putting a strong implementation and calling the existing method with just with a tweaked uh, arguments. So it's going to work. So this is how the default interface implementation will look like. Okay, and one other feature um, we can expect in final version is target typed new expression. So this is a feature to shorten the object creation syntax to avoid repeatedly typing the class names in declaration. We know that we traditionally declare an object using string s equal to new of string employee emp equal to new of employee and constructor argument. If we have a constructor argument, we will have a new of. But I think this is not required because we are explicitly telling what is the type here. And unless if you want to create a type of a derived one or something, and if you want to defaultly create instance of this type, so this syntax helps to create in a shorthand syntax, like without explicitly mentioning the type name. String s equal to new of, that is it implies that we want to create an object of string. Same goes with all type of for all other different classes. Okay. Thanks for watching. So hope you understood a couple of new features that we expect in C# 8 final version. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.